So,
It's
looking
not
at
something
those,
you hear every day.
Maybe
looking
they
at
pull out a Yumi Vigar bot lane. That's our special. Yeah.
just
I
throwing out the
never want to
strats
see you in solo queue.
Deadly.
Sounds like the worst thing to
Like
play
2000 AP. Like it's disgusting.
You ult someone, they die.
Yeah.
against.
All
I mean,
right,
that's how
well,
Vigor usually works, right?
You can ult anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that opens it up.
all right. Well, with that being the case, I'm looking to throw this in a draft if we have the opportunity to, but we are being at game point here. Who do we think takes it all before we toss this over into the draft? As far as it goes, before the predictions even settle in for what they're going to be picking up here in this draft, I am curious to know what our opinions are for what we can expect at that point before we've even seen anything.
My money's on JBB. I think mechanically they're the stronger team, and I think it's going to be on CR to Bane and
Yeah, I'm gonna go with JBB. I'm super biased because they beat us, so they better not lose. Otherwise, I'll just look so bad. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have a decent look at the bands, as much as we didn't get to hear much from GFG's side, so they'll get a little bit more of a rollback here if they want to change their minds. Looking at these bands now too. Now that we've already shown where the biases are here, what are we thinking here from the bands? I do like taking away the Sejuani from the side of CR or from the side of JBB against CR here. Big known pick there, and they've picked up the Volley Bear in the first rotation here.
I think that's the first time Volibear hasn't been banned for Sean, and so he's just going to first pick that. I really like it. I think that Volibear is very easy to execute, and Sean has shown great proficiency before, so a good first pick by the side of CR. It's going to be on JBB to respond to the
Yeah, it could also go to Daniel. It could just
Mhm.
kind of be a flex pick, see how it goes, because Daniel also has played a lot of Volley Bear as well.
It takes it away from Kid Carito too, because he's
Yeah.
a great volleyball player.
Yeah, I think that's the important part is that Kid Creo just loves playing Volley Bear jungle, so they managed to get the 3 bans and also take away the Volley Bear.
Well,
Yeah,
That's
I'm
really
really
good.
from CR right now. I'm liking the Riven and Lee Sin bans. I'm liking that they're gonna try and give Daniel like a little bit more of a leisure pace in top lane, right? Try and help him survive up there, because that's really where he's got to survive up there in order for the team to be able to scale away. So I like their bans there.
I'd also like to see Daniel, if we're going to keep the conversation up about him, stick towards something that is like a secondary engage, which you can do with the Volley Bear, or just something, once again, they can just play back. I don't want to see him fight Sacknut. If he wants to challenge me on this, then by all means, and he wants to pick something that's just going to fight again, and somehow...
I want to see him pick Darius right here. Do it.
That would be something
Yeah,
for
here.
sure. Darius, Viego, just
Daniel.
set. Set actually well.
Yeah, just go
As-
off.
Morgana picked by CR, good against the Nunu, importantly, and also it's a good flex pick, and taking it away from this JBB support, evidently identifying that as kind of a thorn in this.
8. That's abusive.
It's a good lane, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see Sacknut set. It's pretty fun to watch in the bar series. Kind of popped off.
Disgusting in the bars series.
As
he almost
Nami.
solo carried that game.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get your opinion on this. I know Nami Ezreal is a pretty strong lane, but what do you feel about picking it into something that might be like Morgana Caitlyn?
Honestly, like Nami isn't even a champion. Like that, like in her current state, like people build Imperial Mandate on her, and all that does essentially is steal kills. So, are you really a support if you're giving your AD carry 10 extra damage, but you secure all the kills, right? Like, I don't know. I don't like the Nami pick at all. I like the Enchanter. Like that's kind of what I was saying, but Nami. No
Yeah,
good.
I'm inclined to agree with you, especially when they have such a CC combo like Caitlyn Morgana and a point-and-click CC like Volibear, Nami's going to have a very difficult time surviving this game.
Yeah.
Especially if Morgana puts 1 or 2 points into her shield, like extra. Like Nami does nothing against that comp and bot lane at that point. She's pretty much invincible.
Because Nico and Heimer, I imagine that they're just messing with us.
You'd like to say that, but they did pull out a Teemo in game 1, so I mean,
That's
like,
true.
really, we can expect anything at this point. I think it's gonna be the Nico. If anything, if I saw a Heimerdinger, I'd be losing it right now.
Nice.
Interesting.
If I remember correctly, they played that against your team. Sorry, Bart in game 2, or was it game 1? And their mid laner actually played pretty well on the Nico on JBB. If I remember correctly.
I'm not familiar with that match, if I'm being honest, but at the same time, just looking
I
at
think
what we
Nico's
got.
like the secondary comfort. For
Yeah.
JBB.
I do know that Birdbang has like a weird champ pool here, but we've confirmed now that Volibear at the very least is gonna be in the jungle. At least I assume so at this point, with the Scion being locked in. It does still leave the set opened up, I'd argue, to go against the Scion, which we could see from Joe's Big Biceps. But I'm curious to see what Royal's gonna pick here, and he's going with the Aurelia into the Nico matchup.
Oh my god.
This is going to be
Wait.
on Royal for carries.
Yeah.
Skill check kind of game. Royal not backing down though.
I don't know. We've got solid picks here. No Wukong. Okay.
These are some spicy
I
teams.
yeah. I don't know how that matchup goes at all in the top lane, but as far as it goes, I wish we had our resident top laner, Dirty Phil, to give us the heads up on what a weak side top lane like Scion does into a Wukong. Wow, that's true. Oh, we got Dins here. Dins, I don't know, but I know you hate Wukong though. There is at least is that. Yeah, well, I mean, you're not in the league anymore at this point, right? You're kind of out of there. You're in the cast at least, but
Yeah, knocked out. It's what it is.
Washed up player. Happens.
Yeah, you know, Wukong, he has that passive armor he gets, so he usually wins a lot of AD matchups. But Scion isn't really that like fighter type champion. He's more on the tank side. So I don't know if we'll see a lot of fighting. Maybe Scion will go for the the 300 IQ Bramble start, where you you sneak off into their like tier 3 tower, and then you execute, and then you teleport back, and you get the 2 waves, and then you get your Bramble, and you walked away. Maybe we'll see that, but yeah, it's kind of weird because it's not like Wukong against a kind of tankier person like Scion. I don't think Wukong has a lot of early kill potential or early kill pressure. So I would have loved to see Set, because that would have been a really easy lane for Set, and then also really good late game when you have some big tanky boys you can just slam down into the Caitlyn. But yeah, it's interesting to see how this will turn out. Wukong at least is really good in team fights, even if you're not like super far ahead, because he gets those 2 big knockups he can do. He's a little Beyblade spinning around. So I guess it's gonna be a more passive top lane. You know, you never know what Sacknut's gonna do. Maybe he can just pull off some crazy solo kills onto Scion, completely dominate the lane. But I think it's gonna be a more bot mid focused game.
I'll agree with that one. I do think that, like, as far as Wukong goes, he has the ability to put on the pressure, but it really is definitely going to be up to that. Outside of that, though, let's get it right here. I was kind of baiting Stefano and Dins into giving their biases here, but now looking at the team comps and looking at it objectively, let's take a look here and say, based on what we see at the very least at face value, and seeing how these teams have played out and how their styles have kind of been brought out and what they've pulled out in the past, what do we think is going to happen between these two teams? Who's bringing the bacon for the third place match? Who's getting all the Red Bull? Who's going to be chugging it back? That's what I want to know. Let's you know what? Let's start with GFG members, and let's go from Bog, and we'll go all the way through from there.
I'm liking CR in this game. I think if they could abuse this bot lane, this Nami pick, they could just pretty much farm her and just carry the game with that.
I like
I
it.
think-
Farm there.
Hog
I think
take from
I'd
Bob.
actually switch it to JBB at this point. I think that their team fight potential is insane, and I think CR lacks a little bit AP damage on their side, so we'll see how that goes. But I think JBB might take it.
Unless Sean goes AP Volibear.
Yeah, sure will.
Probably will, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, Sirius, what's your take?
I think I'm gonna go with JBB. I like, again, what Sork said. Their team fight potential is significantly better. It looks like CR wants to be playing into them, and JBB's team with the Nico, Wukong, Nunu, they're gonna play well to that. It's gonna be real awkward for them to try and engage on the side of CR with their Aurelia. So
Very good point. The disengage is really strong on JBB's side. Dins, what are you looking at?
Honestly, I think CR has the better draft. Like, I don't see top lane really getting out of hand with these two picks. It's possible, but if that doesn't happen, then I feel like Royal on his Irelia is gonna be a lot stronger than the Birdman. He hasn't really put on any like crazy performances, and I think this Caitlyn is gonna absolutely abuse that bot lane. So I'm gonna say CR is gonna take this one.
Stefano, we'll bring it up to you, and then of course I get the last pick, so I get to consolidate all the opinions together.
I'm gonna go with CR as well. I think that, as Din said, Saknon is gonna have a very hard time snowballing, and JPP doesn't have too strong of a win condition. Additionally, CR has such a volatile bottom lane. If there's a single mistake by Nami, it's gonna be hard punished, and Caitlyn being ahead is gonna be so hard for JBB to deal with. My money's on CR.
Okay, so I'm bringing it in the point because I tossed a very opinion-based opinion on there. As much as I agree that JBB's side has a lot of disengage and they have the ability to back off from a lot of the fights, I'm going with CR, baby. Let's go. I think that Daniel's gonna pop off. Even though I said that last time it didn't happen, it's happened in this game. I think that the bot lane's gonna smash through the Ezreal and the Nami. They don't even stand a chance. I think that Royal's gonna take out Birdman. Let's go the whole way. That's what I'm looking at. And you know what? We're going to find out right after this competitive integrity break, which should be very short. I'm going to give you a heads up, Dins. We got maybe like a minute, so you'll be in there time for the game this time, and we're going to see how it goes. So let's let's go right into it, and we'll see you guys in game in just a moment.
All right, and here we are for Game 3, the final one in this best of 3 for the bronze medal. We have now CR back on the blue side and JBB on the red side. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is gonna be really fun. I know we had a lot to say about this Nami, so eyes are gonna be on bot lane. Can Harley and Murphy just roll over the bot lane, or do Gigi Denied and Bahutot have something for them? Oh, a little early
Murphy
jazz.
already. That's a statement. Just one binding, one hit, beginning of the game. Well played around the vision by Murphy. Not going to mean a lot, but even still, that's some psychological warfare going for CR.
Mhm. Definitely hurt the mental a little bit there. Nami knows she's treading on turbulent water right now. She needs to be careful. If too many of those
Wow.
bindings hit, it's not going to be looking good for her.
All right, that was amazing. I gotta give it up to you. Turbulent water, best pun. But back to the actual game. I do want to point out that Bahuoto is gonna have to be extra careful because GG Denied did take the cleanse. That is going to incentivize Murphy to throw all his bindings out. Bahuoto instead, who was already in a pretty precarious spot beforehand. And you see Sakna doesn't starting W, but he keeps Eskiing to make him think he start W. Which
Yeah.
is kind of funny.
That's the most fun part of playing Wukong, is just pretending like it's the clone.
Exactly.
Even when it gives you no advantage, just to get into their head, because a lot of it is the mental game where you need to condition your opponent, where it's like, yeah, I could be faking you out. and if the more you do it, the more it gets into their head, and so they never know what's going on.
Real going aggressive, but a little bit too
Ooh.
aggressive is going to take a tower shot for that. Binding goes out, lands onto GG denied, instant cleanse, good call. They are the level down, but they're still looking to fight now. Binding coming back up.
Oh.
There's no cleanse this time. Trap lands, ignite
And they're
lands.
still level 1.
GG denied going down. Oh, JBB or Icarus, they flew too close to the sun. Thought they could get away with the trade, even though they were leveled down, but it takes out the cleanse. All the summoners from Bahuoto to Bahuoto as well. This is a vulnerable Nami and a fed bottom lane.
Yeah, it looked like Murphy healed, or sorry, Harley healed there because Ezreal didn't have it. Just being a nice guy, I know they forgot their heal, so healed
Smart,
for him,
smart.
but this wasn't enough.
But
Yeah,
great
and-
team players on CR.
Yeah, like I said in the earlier analysis, eyes are really on this bot lane. Are Harley and Murphy going to be able to run it over? And they're off to a really great start. And the thing about this Scion pick is that it doesn't really matter if he's down even 50 CS or something like that. Like, it really doesn't matter as long as he doesn't let Wukong get additional kills on top of that. Then he's pretty much doing his job.
Yeah.
So he's off to a great start. Doesn't look like Wukong has any kill potential.
Royal goes aggressive. The junglers are around. The Electrocute's going to fall on him. He is going to lose the trade a little bit. The Birdman doing very well in this lane so far. Obviously, Aurelia does need some items. She's not one of those corrupting plot 1v9 champs, but doing well. She's a little bit down on CS, but been bullying him, and that is fine with an Ignite down. So very confident, very well played so far by the Birdman.
Yeah, it's looking really nice. I see Royal is trying to.
As
good
gank
flash from
comes
Daniel,
top
but-
lane, flash, but the snowball's there. Daniel nowhere to go. His shield comes up last second, but the Q is
Ooh.
gonna finish him.
The
Good
extended
gank.
range on that Wukong Q.
Yeah, Harley dodging the bubble. 60 caliber net lands, and that's so much damage onto Nami. Oh man, she's gonna be chunked for a good little bit, and you see now, the CR bot lane continuing to dominate, putting on so much pressure. This lane is so hard to play against. Any form of, if any skill lands, then you just get hit by another and you're dead. There's so long range and so little risk for it. As Sean looking in the mid lane, he's unfortunately going to stun a clone. But CR bot lane doing very well for themselves so far.
Yeah, JBB went for the trickster comp with a lot of clones, a lot of deceptiveness.
Smart.
I think that was the idea around it. But yeah, Wukong got that one kill, so it's possible that he keeps doing that, because Nunu can definitely catch people out of position pretty easily. But even then, like, Wukong isn't really much of a hyper carry, like someone like a Riven or Lee Sin. So even if Wukong really gets started, if the pace in bot lane keeps on going how it is, and the Caitlyn starts to get fed, I think CR is still going to run away with the game.
Yeah, and as you were saying, Sion Wukong definitely one of those matchups where if Sion goes even, Sion wins. Even a 1-0 is pretty acceptable for the side.
Yeah.
You see, there's just so much poke from the side, from the ball, and we see Kid Corritos in range. There is no heal on him. He does have a splash available. As he takes the blast on, the snowball comes in. They do know he's coming. Black Shield is going to come out. Pops it completely. He has the flash, but Murphy doesn't have it. Then he goes in. Now it's Harley trying to get the kill back. Bubble lands. Great job, but they don't have the damage. The heal didn't come from Harley. He's a good team player, but not to his own team, unfortunately, as Murphy goes down with him. Well played again by Kid Kudo. He's been so potent in these early games, getting his team these advantages.
Yeah, really good stuff from Kid Corrito. Getting a lot of early ganks, just abusing the Nunu strength of being able to just gank. See a little bit of something happening. W's back into it.
Team player. He was helping him out.
Making sure it hit.
Exactly. We see now, though, both level 6. He's still got 20 CS in the top lane. Volibear, of course, is out CS against Jungle Part. Mid lane CS has opened up a little bit. Now that Royal has Vamp Scepter and has level 6, this is where we can look at him for some solo kills. The Birdman needs to be so scared of this Aurelia. Aurelia at this point in the game. She does have the Seeker's Arm Guard, so a little bit of defense, but not going to be enough to withstand this.
Yeah.
Baruoto face checking. The binding's going to
Oh,
land. The
no.
trap is going to go down right after. Unfortunately, there's no black shield on the binding. In after. But now it's Sakna in the top lane, going in onto Daniel. Second is going to come out, but he doesn't look like he's going to have enough damage. Great ulti from Daniel. Isn't going to get it. Unfortunately, very well played by Sakna. Well played by Daniel as well, not being able to get away with it. As Sean comes now for the dive from the bottom, he's going to charge in, but it's not going to work. Daniel TP's back to lane. It's lots of kills all on the map, but it just ends up with JBB having a 200 or 100 gold lead.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth right now. The Ezreal was starting to mount a CS lead, but then Caitlyn got that one kill. To this Nami's credit, despite the champion being heavily criticized, we see that every time a binding lands on Nami throws back a stun that usually lands on the Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So the Nami's definitely doing something to try and even out the playing field in the bot lane, and Ezreal's now up 10 CS but down 1 kill. So it's looking still about even. If CR wants to win, though, they know that there's always this looming threat of Sakna in the top lane, and the only way to win is to hard stomp that bot lane.
And Kid Corrido's looking to snowball the top lane faster. Daniel has to force the flash out, but it's going to work. Binding lands on GG denied. He has the turns, isn't going to need it. I did just want to say to your point earlier, Nami is doing a good job. I'm going to cut myself off. I think it's happening mid lane. Or no, mid lane's just going to back up, but it is a little bit questionable why Murphy isn't able to get the shields into the Nami bubbles. It's very reactable, and even if you don't want to react, you just throw it on your AD carry. You're Morgana. That's just what you do. So it's very possible Murphy not as comfortable on this champion as he is on several others. We haven't seen Morgana support be consistently played for about a year now, so maybe a little bit out of practice, but even still costing them as Saknet once again goes aggressive into Daniel. Daniel, no flash available, is just going to walk out for the cost of people.
Yeah, that's the Scion right there. You throw all your abilities into it, but he just walks back to his tower.
Oh, as GG denied gets bounded up, he's going to Arcane Shift away, but he's going to get stunned by the Shackles. Cleanse comes down, but it's going to be rather late. Murphy is going to land the Dark Binding into Zong as I take it back. Murphy's a Morgana.
Oh my god, Murphy.
As they get the kill, that's very big for the bot lane of CR, able to further snowball that. It's so important that that they are able to get ahead in this bot lane, that they are able to outrange everyone on the side of JBB.
Yeah, Murphy you didn't have to go that hard. Like, and that was pretty much a 2v1 too. Like Harley got bubbled and then was like too far away from everyone to do anything, and Murphy just pretty much 1v2'd there. I think I figured out the CR comp. They're gonna play support Caitlyn and let Murphy just go absolutely crazy, full AP, getting 10 kills in laning phase, and then that's going to be the AP carry of the team.
It's not, you joke, but it's definitely possible. He is building towards, he does have the item called the 1300 item that's building towards a mage mythic. As Royals here now, it's Bahuoto's flash, the bubble's going to miss, and that's going to be the end of the play. Dark Binding is coming up soon, but the mid and jungle are here. Kid Corrido snowballing in, Black Shield goes down onto Royal. Royal's going in, Sean's here as well. They're just going to go onto Kid Corrido. The Absolute Focus or Absolute Zero is going to get cancelled, but now TP's coming in from Sakna, but a huge flash ultimate from the Lilia is going to be enough to take down Murphy. Good TP, or rather poor TP by Sakna, wasn't in time, and Daniel's going to get a lot of cold fates from that. Back 1-for-1 in the end, though.
Yeah, I actually was kind of confused about that because Daniel walked right by the bush.
Might be more than that. GG and I showed, he's into the... He's going to get taken down. Royal's going to take the kill, and that's not where you want to see the gold. Royal, if you give him an inch, he's gonna take a mile, and you just gave him about a foot of rope there. Second Dragon's going to be taken up by CR as well. They've turned around the gold lead. They're now 300 gold ahead with the double Drake. This is looking CR.
Yeah, as I was saying, I was kind of confused. Oh, and is looking for more.
Ultimate comes down.
That
The Dark
minion.
Binding's going to land. Royal gets his flash ultimate. He has the black shield. Great shield preemptively from Murphy. And that's Sacknet going down. Royal with another kill. I'm going to stop cutting Ginsbags off. Please tell me what you were saying before.
Wow, well now I keep, every time you cut me off, it's because something's happening, and then now I have to form a new thought off of what just happened, so now I have like 5 thoughts backed up in the tank, like, hard to keep track of them all. But let's go first in, last out. We'll do the most recent one first. So that black shield was actually really good, because one thing about Wukong, about him being hard to dive, is that once you jump in on him, he ults and knocks you up. So especially on Aurelia, when you rely on those Qs, you can get knocked up mid Q and it puts it on cooldown, and that's like the worst case scenario. So having that black shield on Aurelia made her go right through the knockup and allowed that dive to happen, and just a nice easy kill onto the Wukong. So that was really nice. What I kept saying before, from the TP from Sacknet, I was surprised that Daniel walked right by him, because he was teleporting in the bush that was like right next to him. And I guess maybe he lost track of Wukong, or it was all planned and he knew that Sacknet's teleport was going to be wasted and he was just going to take the tower. Because Daniel could have easily just stopped it. He had ult up. He could have just knocked him up with his Q. But it worked out well, because Sacknet's teleport didn't convert into anything, and he was able to force out the teleport from Nico. He didn't end up getting plates, but that was some pretty good plays across the board from CR.
And Daniel now too tanky for Sacknet to do much against. Hunter is stacked, so he's going to do a little bit more. But even still, that's your damage character, and that's just about your full combo. Ideally, Sacknet would be still bullying him a little bit more, but that is just the strength of Sion. We see he has the holy trifecta of fun with the Bomby Cinders, steel-plated caps, as well as the Bramble Vest.
And Doran's shield, just in case.
Yeah, it all wasn't enough. Throw in the Doran shield.
Oh my god, yeah, like normally you would see when Wukong is that far ahead and goes in on you like that, normally you're just dead. He also has like some armor shred built into his Q, I believe. And so normally you'd think that Wukong would kill him, but that's just Sion. This is what we've said on the analyst desk that Daniel needs to be put on, is champs where you can just do
lands
this.
onto the Birdman, but yeah, just be tanky about it. As we see Sean hovering a bit around the bottom side, he will know shortly that there's no jungler around, because the Rift Herald is being taken by Kid Vito on the other side of the map. Sean doing a good job playing around Vision. He's going to take the Blast Cone over. He's going to Q in, flash onto the Nami, point and click CC, and the Nami goes down. That's what we were talking about, the analyst desk. So volatile, can't make any mistakes, and a mistake was just made, giving over a kill as well as the tower. But now it's Kid Polito coming from the backside. Ulti's going to hit two. Kid Polito's going to have to go out. Sacknet now is going to try to finish it off. He's going to get the extra knockup, just a little bit of extra HP, not perfectly spaced by Daniel, so he's going to go down. Kid Carito finding the reverse kill on the other side of the map. But now there's just CR bot lane pushing in the second tier turret, and JVB bot lane can't do much about it.
Yeah, this is exactly what was the game plan. It really doesn't matter if Daniel is giving a kill here and there, like he's 0-3, but CR is just way farther ahead. Look at this Caitlyn and Irelia, those main carries.
Ultimate comes down, but it's not going to be enough. It gets disabled. So does the tower. He falls shortly after. Oh man, 4 kills on this Caitlyn. We can see Daniel now clearing out the Rift Herald, but even losing that tower is arguably good. Daniel can simply freeze now, get the gold back, get what he needs to get back in this game. CR is in such a good position.
Yeah, all eyes for JVB is on Sacknet right now. Is this Wukong, with all the stuff that they've had to give up in bot lane and mid lane, all these resources that are now on Irelia, Caitlyn, and Morgana, is this Wukong going to be able to really do anything? Especially as we've already seen with Wukong's main thing is his knockup, with the Black Shield being able to negate that and allowing characters like Irelia to just go in completely on the team. I don't see how Wukong's gonna be able to be this like 1v5 carry. I know that the Riven and the Lee Sin were taken out, but there were definitely a lot better picks than Wukong could have picked. I would have loved to see Set because that is someone who can take over a game and is really good into Sion. But this Wukong is just, I don't think he's gonna be able to pull his team back from the brink.
And I have to just mention, I think it is absolutely such a throw to have the Lucidity boots on 3 different of your characters when you're against the Morgana Caitlyn. Morgana alone is. Oh, I'm gonna interrupt this thought because Kid Guido's heading mid lane with a snowball. Royal's gonna juke up. Now we see the Birdman coming as well. Not gonna amount to much. Very well juked by Royal, but as I was saying, the Dark Binding is already going to put you down for so long. With someone like Wukong that has to get in, that has very telegraphed paths, if he gets hit by a Binding, he is going to be completely useless for the rest of that fight. Similarly to GG denied. So as Sean is going in on the clone, the trickery team comp is working out again. The ultimate has to get suspended by Sakna, but third dragon is about to be started up here by the side of CR. This is going to put them on soul point.
Yeah, I think Wukong, it's possible that he doesn't get rooted if he like really trusts his own mechanics and he can play around his clone and around his dash abilities to dodge it all out. So it's possible that happens, but it's also unlikely, and especially with someone like Morgana, who when she puts down her ult, even if you like go into your clone, like it's gonna stay on you, and as soon as you get stunned, you're just gonna die. And then that's if we look at all the people on JBB right now, Wukong's essentially their whole team. I mean, Ezreal can hang in there and at least do something late game, but it's really on Wukong to try and carry this, and I just don't think Wukong has the tools to do that, especially into this team comp.
Yeah, if you put 4 ganks into your top laner, if you give up 3 dragons in the front, if you give up first tier tower, as well as 5 kills for your bot lane, you best make sure Sakna can carry, and Royal going aggressive but doesn't know where the enemy team is, so just gonna smartly back off. It's Sakna that has the whole mountain to climb, and you can even see, even if Murphy misses his Dark Binding, he didn't go Leandries. He went Frostfire for that extra bit of CC that can go either before, after, or the binding, or just if he misses it, it's going to be so hard for Sakna to navigate these fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a lot of tools that CR has to deal with Wukong, and so it's going to be really hard for him to carry. I really wonder how it's going to work out. I mean, it's definitely possible. There's a lot of skill expression on Wukong, the way you can play around your clones and play around your dashes and get some tricky engages off. But it's very hard. So it's just gonna come down to it. This next Drake is coming up in 3 minutes, and so JBB need to fight that. It's probably gonna be all hands on deck there because that's the whole point. So we'll see if Saknut can pull out in the end.
Yep. I'm just gonna leave that there. As we see now, Sakna gonna go aggressive on Daniel. Oh look, he got the armor shred. The ultimate comes down, and Daniel just laughs. Even the flash in front, he's really going for this solo kill. He has to flash out. But we see Kid Corito is being given it to by Sean, but that's what we're talking about.
Daniel still didn't die. He just kept walking.
Yeah. Sakna needs to be able to push his E to get farther ahead to carry this game, but he's against a Sion. Sion might be 0-3, but Sion has Sunfire, Steel Plate, as well as Bramble Vest, and of course the Doran's Shield. You can't get past Sion with Doran's Shield. It's physically impossible.
It's called the shield for a reason.
Yeah,
it was made by Doran.
It looks like they're now gonna or they were planning on collapsing. They're just gonna give it up. Even him burning his flash isn't means that he's not going to have that outplay potential for fights in the future, as Sakna with the biggest mountain to climb uphill. Harley, they're looking to fight a little bit. Sean's charging in. He's not going to get the stun available. Tidal Wave is going to come out. It's going to CC Sean. Dark Binding's going to miss, but the Birdmate's on the side. He has flash available. 3 flashes for the price of 1, but it's going to land on no one. Now Sakna gets Dark Binded, but Sean's already down. It's 4v5. They're continuing to kite away now. Keep your eyes on Harley. He has all the damage. But Sakna is able to isolate Royal. Exhaust goes down onto him. He's going to fall down. Harley trying to 1v1 for GG denied. He has no sums available. He's going to continue to auto him, but it's going to be GG denied taking the kill. Murphy's close to going down as well. Daniel as well. Murphy is going to be taken down. Kid Karina's going to keep chasing. Disaster for CR and Baron for JBB.
Oh no. Just everything went wrong for CR there. Royal did get a really nice ult off, but as soon as he queued, he got knocked up by Wukong. I don't think it put it on cooldown, but from that, he just wasn't able to go in anymore because he had such little health, and he didn't get a single kill despite getting a 4-man ult. And the team kind of fell apart. That was a really tremendous ult from the...
I think Sean definitely could have gone for the steal, but I guess luckily not. Sorry to cut you off. He just wasn't moving on the mini-map.
Divertman got a really nice Nico ult
Yeah.
off, forcing the flash out of, I think it was 3 people. Like, it was right in the center of about 4 people. Like, that was a really good ult. And then from there, Nunu was able to snowball in and get right in the middle of everybody, put down his ult, and then Wukong was able to get in there and just disrupt everybody with his ult. It was just a big wombo combo from JBB. It was just excellent team fighting. And this Ezreal has been hanging in there. Before that fight, he had a 150 gold bounty despite being 0-3. So he's really just been hanging in there, getting CS where he can and scaling. And so that now there is a bit of power. It's not just the Wukong alone. It's just Ezreal's able to output some pretty nice damage. And now with those 2 kills as well, he's going to be doing even more damage.
Yeah, we see now it's the potential final dragon for the side of CR, but they can't find a way into this pit. As you were saying, this Ezreal has gone his 2 items. He's so strong. Daniel just going in. He hits the Ezreal, but it's not going to be enough. Ultimate comes down onto Ezreal, but he's flashing up on the backs of the fight. It's not going much better. Harley's doing damage, but it's not enough. Saknat is so far ahead. This is just a dragon that you should have given up. You're down a Baron. You don't need to force it right now. You even scale better as more kills go to JVP. This is disaster for Casual Reformed.
Yeah, I really thought that Sean maybe would have just stood behind the pit and ulted in for a steal, if anything, or like have his team position and then that's how you engage, is trying to steal the Drake. But instead they thought, well, we're not getting in there, so let's just force a fight, and Daniel just ulted right in. But they should have just learned that they don't win those fights. And it's not like JBB didn't get a back off. They all got a back off. Ezreal finished his Divine Sunderer, and they were stronger than before, so CR should have known that they weren't going to win that fight. So either give it up, go for a steal, but just don't fight head on like that.
Yeah, that you can't win. Even it was such a weird mix of their frontline diving while their backline was being dove. There wasn't any peel. Just they have a worse team fight comp, but it also doesn't help things if you play the team fights poorly. You have so many resources on this Caitlyn, Morgana, Aurelia. You can't just have both your front lines diving the back line. You have to stay back and peel.
If Volibear was maybe 5-0, that could have worked out well. He did get a good ult off, but he's 0-2, 120 CS. He has his 1 item finished, his boots. Like, he wasn't really going to do anything 1v3 in that situation, and then he just left his team hanging out to dry.
Yep, and we see now that just made things so much worse. Ezreal almost at the 3rd item. He's got the last Whisper, almost at the Lord Dominance with guards. Once that happens, he's going to be able to shred the front line really effectively too. So it's going to be so difficult now for the side of CR to play these team fights. They have this Caitlyn, but Caitlyn doesn't have an Infinity Edge completed yet. They did go for the Fan of the Answer, which is the extra DPS build, which is definitely good, but she needs that IE and probably another item, a Bloodthirster, Dom, something else, to really be able to put this game in the CR needs to stop taking fights like this and stop trying to force where it doesn't need to be forced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was definitely a big blunder from CR. Like, maybe it would have been all right after that big wipe before, but giving them another big wipe right after, that's tough to come back from.
we see now the Birdman also noticeably has been a huge boon so far, but he might find himself in a little bit of trouble. The illusion's going to come out. The flash comes out shortly after. Ultimate comes down onto him, as well as the Caitlyn ult. He's surely going to go down here. That's an extra shutdown onto Sean, but they lose mid lane tower for this. Kid Dorito now coming in with the snowball, but he's just going to let that one go, right? Probably doesn't want to take 3v5. Good kill. Good kill for Sean. That's definitely going to help, but it cost them a lot to get in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is nice that they're finding picks whenever JBB's overextending, but yeah, now they're definitely on the back end of this game. Oh, that was a lot of damage
Wow.
because
Without
this
Nami
Ezreal,
boosted.
yeah, this Ezreal is pretty scaled up, and so now, yeah, like I said before, it's not just Wukong that they have to worry about. Now they have to worry about Ezreal. They did a good job of setting him behind early, but Caitlyn hasn't been able to really pop off due to the fact that those earlier team fights just swung the game completely. So now this Ezreal's a bit of a monster, and they have to worry about Wukong disrupting the entire team, because now he is pretty far ahead as well, and that ult just completely disrupts everything that's going on in the backline of CR.
Sean finds Sacknut alone. Murphy and Holy far away still. Black Shield electing to go on Sean. He's still going to use to stun him. Caitlyn ultimate comes out. Sacknut though, and they continue to run away. Kid Dorito's now on the side. Black Shield still is on cooldown. He's gonna drop it. Dark Binding comes, but it goes just wide. Unfortunate for them. That would have been a kill, but now they're still rather out of position. Dragon's coming up soon, but there's a few members of JVB still on top side. They're going to have to back and reset. They're not going to be time for this. CR should have the backhanding on this, and if they play it right, they should just be able to burst the dragon.
Yeah, if they want to come back from this game, it's a good thing they have those 3 early drags, because they're always contesting Soul Point. Because they have those 3 drags, they just need 1 dragon, and getting that Ocean Drake and Ocean Soul could be really, really nice.
It's going to be...
Yeah, they've kind of asserted dominance here, but and they have that Caitlyn trap. I think JV's trying to move in, but that Nunu gets completely caught.
Sacknut on the side is going to have a huge 5-man Wukong ulti, but he's going to be binded and taken down shortly after. G denies in the pit, and another big ulti by the Birdman. It started out so well, but you have to watch your flanks, and CR is going to pay for that. Just Daniel alive, but it was just a zombie, and another wipe for JDB. It started out so well, but there wasn't enough ward coverage and enough respect for the side of CR. They had the pick, they barricaded it up. There was no way they could have gone in except for that on the side, and they found that way, and Sacknut comes up huge.
Yeah, that was they asserted dominance, but they forgot that they weren't ahead. I think that was the fatal flaw of that positioning. They were the first one to the dragon. They're setting up the Caitlyn traps. But they forgot that if JBB just moves in on them, they're gonna win that team fight. They're already far ahead.
As Baron gets taken out as well. JVB holds all the cards once again. Caitlyn now finished her Infinity Edge, but no summon is available. Is it even going to be enough at this point? Sacknut is so far ahead. Sacknut is so far ahead, as well as there's so many tank stats on Kid Burrito. It's going to be so hard for Harley to effectively put out this DPS, and his team isn't doing him any favors. He's consistently getting flanked, dying first. He needs to position better, and he needs his team to position better.
Yeah, I think CR really needs to be careful and kind of remember where they are right now. I think they got too comfortable being ahead early on, and they aren't realizing the gravity of their situation right now. That JVV really turned the tide on them.
Yeah. Oh my god, 1Q from Harley, and I heard it, I'm not a commentator. Sean is gonna have to ulti out. The binding lands onto GG Knight. It's gonna force him, but we see even more Harley. 3.5 items did so much damage. The binding does land, but on the one member that has Imperial treads, or I guess these two members that have Merc treads, it's not going to do a lot. GG Denied is playing out of his mind hitting these Qs. He's doing so much poke damage before fight.
no!
And there goes Harley. That's the win condition for CR. And that's a huge blow to them. They're going to push in and take the first inhibitor as well. Sacknet pushing off on the side, just bullying Daniel around. They're going to walk bot lane, try and get the second inhibitor. Daniel's in a pretty rough place. He needs to ult out of here, not ult in. He has to flash out as the tidal wave comes down. Black Shield goes to stop it. It's not going to matter. One more Ezreal Q is going to do it. Look at this Ezreal. He's doing so much damage. They can't find a way to effectively deal with him. They're consistently pushing in. First tower of the Nexus is gone. They have two big minion waves here. Baron is available. Harley's still down for another 5 seconds. It's going to be, can they stall until Harley gets back alive? They're going to push them off the wave as Harley respawns. He's here now. Daniel's tanking in the front line. He seems so squishy compared to Ezreal. Sacknet posturing aggressively. Dark Lightning lands onto GG9. There's no cleanse available. He's going to get CC'd up. Sacknet's going down onto Harley, and he is going to take him out. Kid Guido now going to do his best with Royal, and it looks like they just surrendered as soon as Harley went down. As the
I
game
think no, I don't
freezes.
think they surrendered. I think Sacknut just took the
Did he
Nexus.
just take?
Yeah,
No,
you see him on the mini map.
It would have popped.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It would have popped the victory screen. So I
Oh, you're
think
right. You're right.
that was just an instant
They
rage
surrendered.
quit by CR upon the death of Harley. That is an FF speed run if I've ever seen one, and that means JBB is gonna take the bronze medal and be our third place finisher in the Canadian Esports Championship Series.